Good morning. Can I have your attention, please? All right, good morning. So my name is Prince Matthew. I'm a medical doctor and I work with MSF as a regional head of mission. So I want to take this opportunity to welcome all of you to the MSF South Asia Scientific Days 2018. Thank you for being here and we have a very interesting day ahead of us. Before we start, I just want to touch upon some of the practicalities. So let's start by just sort of rearranging the room a bit. So all of you who are at the back, can I please ask that you guys move forward? So can we do that now, please, so that we fill up the rows up forward? So for those of you who are sitting behind, can I please ask that you step forward and fill up these rows? It just makes the discussion better and it makes people more involved in discussion. So if you could do that, would be very nice. While that is going on, I just want to quickly touch upon some of the safety aspects. So we have fire escapes. You see these doors that are marked with the exit signs in green on the side and at the back. So in case of a fire or an eventuality, that is the doors that we use to get out of the room. There are washrooms at the back near the registration counters. So for those of you who need to use it during the day, please feel free to go back and use those rooms. For those of you who are looking for when is the next coffee break is at 10:30 a.m. if we all stick on time. And then we have lunch at 12:30 at noon. A lot of my job today is to coordinate the entire timings and make sure people stick to timings and things like that. So you will see me stepping in between for time. So please excuse me on that. So for a lot of people who are new to the Scientific Day concept and a lot of you who are external partners who've come today, I just want to quickly take 2 minutes out to explain what is the Scientific Day. So MSF, Doctors Without Borders, today operates a large number of medical programs in different parts of the world across different thematic areas. And the Scientific Days are a platform for MSF to showcase a lot of the field research and a lot of the innovation and the experiences that we bring from these projects. The first MSF Scientific Day happened in MSF UK in 2004. And then we wanted to bring a greater focus on the South Asia region, and that was in 2015 that the South Asia Scientific Days started. There is also a Scientific Day that happened just recently in in southern part of Africa, in Swaziland, which just happened last Friday. So it is becoming a platform for MSF, also on the regional basis to showcase the field work and the research that's happening. The research that you see being presented today here in the South Asia Scientific Days comes from a large number of countries across South Asia, including India, Myanmar, Bangladesh, Armenia, Pakistan, and Nepal. So there's quite some of these countries that are being represented in the research and the presentations that you see today. As we all know, it has been a very intense year for the humanitarian world, particularly in the region, and Bangladesh has been very much the focus of that. Over the last year, and in keeping with that, you will see a lot of the focus today also being on Bangladesh and the Rohingya populations. We have an online broadcast today, and we have an online audience that's joining us. So last year, for example, we had about 400 plus participants joining us online from 27 countries. So for all those who are tuning in from different countries abroad, just want to welcome you all also. And please, to the online audience, feel free to ask questions, feel free to engage either via Twitter or via the comment section on the live stream. A quick word on Twitter. So for those of you who are here physically and those of you who are joining via the online audience, please have a look on the hashtag, the MSFSciSA, that we use for Twitter. So those of you who are connecting, discussing these presentations on Twitter, please remember to use that hashtag. If you look around the hall, you see these photos that are scattered around the room. These come from an exhibition called Field of Vision, which MSF India recently presented, and it is a great exhibition. It showcases some of the work that we do in many different contexts, and I encourage you to take a look at those during the breaks. There are, at the back of the room, there is also the poster presentations. So these are also very interesting medical topics and medical posters. So do have a chance to look at them during the break. Coming to the questions and answers, we have ample time kept aside for questions and answers, and we actually encourage people to step in and ask questions and answers. Please remember to ask them at the end of that session. So the chairs who are chairing each of the sessions will keep time aside for that. When you ask your questions, can I please ask that you introduce yourself, the organization that you're working for, and also to be very concise and to the point so that we don't get into a long storytelling, but that we are right to the point and ask the questions. And feel free to ask that clarity from the presenters on what has been presented. So what does our day look like today? So we have 4 sessions today touching upon 4 key areas: the Rohingya crisis, vulnerable populations, tuberculosis, and medical innovations. So those are the 4 areas, the 4 sessions that we're touching today. So I don't want to get into a speech, and I want to get right to the topic. So for the first session that we're having is called Rohingya Refugees, Victims Twice Over. And I'd like to hand over to Sid Wong, who is the medical director for MSF, based in Amsterdam, and headquarters to one of MSF's 5 operational centers. Sid, all yours. Thank you.